Hello everyone, it is Michelle and we are here for our weekly Facebook Live and we'll get started in just a second. Make sure you say hi when you hop on. We are going to be making 4 new sweet and simple cards using this stamp set and this pack of paper. So I am excited about that. And we will begin in just a moment. I know I'm a few minutes late. My neighbor stopped by real quick to give me some vegetables from her garden. Hello everyone. Hi Holly. Hello Joanne and Belinda and Susan and Marsha. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining this evening. Okay. All right. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. Hi everyone. Okay, so I wasn't sure what exactly to do tonight because there's so many things that I want to do. So that's why. It's not that there's lack of stuff. There's so much stuff. It's a little overwhelming. Like, what do I pick? What do we do this week? And it's been crazy busy getting the studio ready and all of that. But I do want to say, if you are not local to me, which most of you aren't, it's totally okay because all of my normal events that I do will still run the same. I'll still do everything I normally do online in my weekly Facebook Lives. In fact, you might even see me live more once my studio is open. But I'll just be able to resume my in-person things that I did before COVID. So that's all. I just wanted to give a shout out. I love all my customers near and far. And so don't worry, nothing is changing in my business as far as that. So hello, all of you. And tonight we're using, actually, I didn't plan on this, but we're using 2 of the Sale-A-Bration items. And so you cannot purchase these, but you can get them for free. And so this pack of paper you can get for free with a $50 order. And it is on page 7. It is called the Beautifully Penned 12x12 Designer Series paper. It's all black and white, and it coordinates with the hand pen suite. And so I'm using that tonight, and then this Delicate Dahlias stamp set. Now this you get free with a $100 order. It's a pretty big set. And it's the distinctive ink. So I just really I was using it today. So if you place a $100 order, then you can select this item for free. I'm also going to use a few bits and pieces of this sparkly paper here that you can also earn for free. It's the Bedazzling Specialty Designer Series paper that comes in a 6x6. So we're just pulling out a bunch of Sale-A-Bration stuff, but what I'm excited about is to show you how you can make 4 simple but yet beautiful cards using these products. And again, you could substitute these out with any pack of Designer Series paper or like flower set. We are going to be doing some heat embossing, so if you haven't done that in a while or you've never done that, stick around. We're going to be doing some heat embossing. We're going to be doing a little bit of watercoloring. So we are going to do some fun techniques tonight, but they're going to be easy. So I hope that excites you. And let's get started. Before I do, if you placed an order for the virtual card class, that ended on Monday night. And so all of your things came today, and I was at my studio and with my helper Karen, and we were prepping stuff. And so I'm hoping to get those out in the mail to you tomorrow. So thank you so much to all of you who got your order in. If you do want to place an order yet tonight, and again, if your order goes always over $50, I like to send you a thank you card and little gift in the mail. This is the new host code up here. Ooh, right here. So that's the host code right there, and I'll put a link to my shopping store as well. So if you do want to go shopping still, you still will get Sale-A-Bration stuff, and that's just my host code for the next week or two. Okay, so let's get started with this. So we are going to start out, I think we're going to start out with a little bit of heat embossing. So who loves the heat tool and heat embossing? So to heat emboss, you need some embossing powder, and then you need the Versamark ink pad. Where is my big catalog? So the powder is $18, but you get 3 in a pack. And this one, it comes with like black and white and clear, I believe. And so that they come 3 in a pack. And then the Versamark is in with like the Memento and the Stays On ink pad. So that's where you find that. And then the heat tool is in with the tools. And I love our heat tool because it has a 0, 1, and a 2. And the 2 is what you're going to use to heat set, and the 1 you can use to dry. So that's just a little bit about that. And let's get started with our first card. So I took the beautiful Designer Series paper, and this is a piece that is 2 inches by 5.5. And so I tried to use like very easy measurements so you could get the most out of your paper, which I love doing that. So you'll see in all 4 of these cards that I use either a 2 inch by 5.5 or I use a 3 by 4 piece. And I used all different colors on these cards. So this one is Polished Pink. And then we're going to use Bumblebee and Pool Party, and then Early Espresso and a Cajun Craze. So we really have quite the variety. Now this little piece right here, we're going to just attach down the side over here. Let me find my adhesive. It is right here behind my phone. So I'm going to add this down, and then this is the one we are going to set with. Let me know below how your week is going. I hope it's been going great. Yesterday we had some really bad storms here where I live, and a lot of people are without power. In fact, most of our town is without power. We still have power, but I wasn't sure because I was actually painting some things at my studio, and then I was going to come home and cook dinner and go live. And it just got really crazy, the storms. And anyway, they're all out of power, and it's not going to be on for several days. They said like maybe Saturday. So I'm very grateful we didn't lose power, but it was really spotty. It was like kind of hit or miss yesterday. So I just thought, and then it was just a crazy day. So I thought, you know what? We're just not going to go live. We'll wait till Thursday when things simmer down a little bit. So here is that bedazzling sparkle paper, glimmer paper, whatever it's called in that Sale-A-Bration. This is a 1/4 inch strip. So I just added some liquid glue to this, and I'm going to attach this down here, down the side here, just like this. And then I'm going to take my scissors and just cut the edge off. So, hello everyone. Thank you, Linda, for posting what pages they are in the annual catalog. I didn't even think to grab an annual catalog. Okay, so I'm going to trim that little piece off there too. Okay, so now we're going to set this aside, and we're going to do our embossing, heat embossing. So I took a piece, I don't know if you can tell, but this is shimmer white paper. So this paper you can watercolor on as well. So that we're going to do watercoloring, and we're going to do heat embossing. So I've got my Versamark right here, and we are going to be using this big stamp here. Let me just make sure it's clean. Hello everyone. Oh, Pat is camping. Hi. So we got that cleaned off. At least I hope. It didn't look like it's very clean. Okay, and then I'm going to take just a scrap piece of paper. Oh, I also need you're going to want your little, your mat, because this is a photopolymer stamp. So when you stamp this, you won't be able to see the, it's kind of clear for a minute. So here, I got my little paper here, and I got my ink pad here, and mine is very well used. And even though it's discolored, it still stamps clear for me. So I'm I don't know, it's been used. So heat embossing is what sold me on stamping. I love heat embossing. I don't do it enough. I don't know why. It's not hard, and it's really not too much more time. But so I'm just inking this up really good. And then I have my flower, and I'm just going to stamp it towards the top here. So I'm just going to stamp and give it a really good press on this mat. So make sure you have your Stampin' Pierce mat. It's $5 in our annual catalog, and that you definitely want with your photo polymer stamp sets. Okay, so this even sticks to it. It's a really sticky ink. Excuse me. So I just kind of rub that and I peel that off, and you might be able to kind of see the flower in the background there. So then I'm going to take my sentiment that says, "You inspire me," and I'm going to stamp that on the bottom. So another tip is, we don't sell this anymore, but there is like a thing you rub over before you heat emboss, and that's to prevent static. So if you have that, go ahead and use it. We don't have that anymore. I think you can kind of put in like a baby sock or something, some cornstarch, and that will work the same as well. But there's that. So I have that done. So now we're going to take our black embossing powder, and again, these come in a 3-pack now. Why won't that stay up there? And I'm going to pour it over top of Embossing Buddy. Thank you. Yes, I could not think of the name of it. Yes, if you have an Embossing Buddy, go ahead and use that. So I'm going to take this black, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on all over my stamped image and then that sentiment. There. Okay, now don't worry, that looks like a mess, right? But we're going to take this, and I'm going to kind of go that right back in there and kind of just tap a little bit in there, like this. Now, if you missed a spot, you can just go over it again, just like that. Now, the other thing you can do, because I didn't use an embossing buddy, is you can take a little, like a paintbrush or something. I think I just totally used all of mine because I just started, you can just take like one of your, I took an aqua painter, and then I just kind of went along and brushed off any little, I just have this little brush here, just brushing off any little extra flecks. Your aqua painter will do the same if it's dry. I just used all my aqua painters, so mine are not dry. All right, so there's this for a second. I need to find, that's wet. I'm looking for something that's dry. Everything that I have is like wet at the moment. I want to remove this little thing of powder right here. There. And then I see I missed a spot down here. So I'm going to add this a little bit more there. And then there we go. So the black you can really see on the white, but like some of the other colors, it's not too bad. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Don't bump it, because if you bump it, then you'll kind of mess it up. But I'm going to pour the rest of this back in this container, just like a little funnel. And then we are going to be done with that for right now. And then we're going to take your heat tool up here. And we are going to, this is where like the magic happens. We're going to turn this on to the number 2 setting. And you're just going to want to like kind of move it around, and then you'll notice it kind of melts that powder and raises it. It's pretty cool. But if you do leave it in one spot or get too close, it could burn your paper. Don't ask me how I know, but we're Gorgeous. And I love this because it makes the black really black and shiny. So, hi everyone that just hopped on. Thanks for joining on this Thursday night. And you can also use a clothespin so it don't burn your fingers if it gets too hot. Okay, it looks like it's good. So now it looks like this. Do you see how glossy that is? And it's shiny and just really nice and black. So then we're gonna take our polished pink ink pad, and I squeezed it. So I just squeezed it into the lid, and then I added some water. So I kind of made a little palette of color here. So I am going to take my aqua painter here, and my water came from my little aqua painter. And then we are going to, because again, this is the shimmer white, we are going to just color this in. And because that heat emboss, it kind of is raised, so that also makes it easier to color if you have a hard time like staying in lines. That kind of helps like your blends from like bleeding out as well. So just some little fun facts if you didn't know that. There they are. So I'm just coloring this all in, and this like colors really fast with this because watercolor doesn't have to be perfect, or if it's okay if it goes a little out of the lines or whatever. So I'm just coloring this in really good, and then I'm gonna go, you'll see me, and add make it a little bit brighter pink in some areas. So this is kind of just like my first layer of pink, and then okay, so I got that first layer on. So the whole thing is kind of like that pink. And then I'm going to just kind of pick up some of this color and make it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to go in kind of in the center, some of these center ones, and just kind of pull in. I'm looking at my sample. Some color here. And just add a little bit. And you can be like, you know, take like lots of time and do this, but anyway, that's kind of what I did to get a little bit darker of some color in there. And then, so we're done with that. And then you just like rinse this off on a paper towel until your water painter comes clean. But to speed up time, I'm going to use this. Now my heat tool, instead of the 2 to heat set the powder, I'm going to turn it on a 1 to dry. And I'm going to just lightly go over here and dry this. Just to speed up the process a little bit. And then we will assemble our card. You can also turn it over. And again, if the pink is like a little too dark in some spots, like you can just kind of go back and like spread some of that color out. Like that's what's so cool with this paper. The same with watercolor paper too. You can do the same thing. So, okay, I'm just gonna set that aside to finish drying. Well, I guess we're pretty much done, so I guess I'm not. I'm gonna turn that back on and dry it for just 1 more second. And then we will add it to our card. Okay, I think it's pretty good. All right, so I have a piece of black that is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to actually add, I never do this, but I'm adding it to this layer, and I'm going all the way around and down the center because do you see how, because it had water and it's been heat, it's not really straight. So this is going to ensure that it is super stuck down here. And I actually kind of like that there's a little bit of black speckles on like the side here. I'll show you my other one that's like really, really dried too. Now we're going to add this to here with some dimensionals. And then we are going to add some little black matte dots to the card to finish it off. So we're going to turn this here and add this on here. And then I have just a bunch of little, these come in a big sheet, but I just have some little random ones in here. We're going to add 3 of these just on here, these little black matte dots. And then we have our card that's done. So there is our card. And can you pick up like the glossiness? Here's the other one I did a little bit ago, so it's a little bit more dry. And so I wish the light would work. So there's our card. So I love that embossed look, and this paper has a little bit of shimmer to it too. So there's our first card. Again, it's just using some heat embossing and watercoloring, so that's kind of cool. All right, our next one we are going to do, we need the mat back in there and our piece of paper. Let me know what you think of that. And our next one, we are going to do a bumblebee. So this one I thought for fall, this would be a good one. So I already have my bumblebee folded in half. And I have my designer series paper, 3x4, that's gonna come over here. So again, if you just wanna make up a bunch of cards, you don't wanna think about it, here's some really great go-to cards. Or if you have to make up a whole bunch of, say, one thing, these are great layouts also. Then we have just our basic white and basic black, 4x3, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. This one we're gonna do some stamping on. And I need to find the stamp set. So this one we're going to use, we use this outline image. For this card, we're going to use the distinctive image. And you can tell I have been using mine like crazy. It's a little stained already. That's okay. It still works great. And I need the block here. I'm going to take this off. And I have the Bumblebee ink pad right here. So we're going to stamp this twice in the kind of in the corners of this piece of cardstock right here. So I'm going to stamp one up here in this corner, and then I'm going to stamp it a second time kind of down here. Oh, and it didn't see, I lifted it up. Let's see if I can fix it, or I'll have to turn it over. If I take my time, because it's photopolymer, I can line it up and press it again. I don't know if they're meant to be lined up exactly. I'm still missing that. I must not have enough pressure in my arm, which is not shocking. My arm, both of my arms are about killing me from physical therapy the last 2 days. So there we go. Got it that time. All right. So we have our flower stamp stamped, and now I'm just gonna clean this off with my chamois, some water. Okay, so we're done with the bumblebee. Now we're going to, gotta think about what I'm doing next. Okay, so next up, we're going to layer this onto our black. And just like this. And And then we're going to take in some of my favorite ribbon. You will find this in the Halloween section, but it can be used for all sorts of things. I love this gingham ribbon. And I'm going to just tie this around here into a knot. So I'm not going to make a bow. You could make a bow. I'm just going to make a little knot. I did use my mat. My mat was under the scrap paper. I just wasn't giving it a good enough pressure. Like I said, my shoulders are both very, very sore from intense physical therapy the last few days. And so I have like no strength. So I'm sure it was just me because I did have my mat. But yes, always make sure you have your mat, especially with the photopolymer stamps. I just had my scrap paper over because I was going off and then the paper like caught it instead of it going on the mat. Because I know we're making more cards. So now we're going to attach this onto here with some dimensionals. Okay, and then I have a circle that I die cut. I think it's about a 1.5 inch circle, just to give you an idea. And where is it? Here it is. I have a 1.5 inch circle, and we will stamp it with what sentiment? Thank you kindly. Okay, do I have that one in here? No. Here it is. Thank you kindly. This comes with 2 sheets of stamps. So we will pop this one on here. And I'm just using the Memento Black ink pad for my black. Here we go. We have that. And then we're going to close this up. We're done with this. And we're going to put this on with a dimensional or 2. And then we'll have this one done. So I'm going to just put that kind of right in the center there. And then again, I'm going to go back to these black matte dots. And then these are in our annual catalog with all the embellishments. And I'm going to add 3 more of these. So you could make up a bunch of these too and give like a gift set. If you need to give somebody a gift and you're not sure what to get them, you could just give them a set of handmade cards. So there's that one with the Bumblebee. So I thought this was a really good color combination for upcoming fall. So there's that one. Look at, here's one I made that says, "Oh, so happy for you." So same card. I just used, and that sentiment is in that stamp set as well. So there's that one. Okay, we got 2 done. So moving right along, our next one we're going to use is Pool Party. So again, I have all my pieces right here, and I have the Pool Party for my card base. So we're just going to fold this in half, and then we are going to this is, again, 3x4 to go on the bottom. And I'm using measurements that you can get a lot out of. You could use this side too if you wanted. This is going to be still slightly different from the other, but using a lot of the same dimensions. Okay, so, this is what I did with this one. So this, I took a 1/2 inch strip of that sparkle bedazzled paper. And then I took scrap paper and my mat, and I set it on here. And I pulled out my Stampin' Blend in Dark Pool Party. And with the brush end, I carefully went over it like this. And I colored it. Now, it's not picking up because this is a very light color, but it is tinting it just a hint of blue. Because this, again, like I said, is a light color blue. But you can do that with this paper. There's also other ways to color it, but I just wanted to show you this way today. So we're just gonna lightly color this sparkle paper, just like this. The black and white designer series paper is from the Sale-A-Bration, and then also this sparkle paper. So one is in the front here, and then the other one is right here. It's called Beautifully Penned. So I know you can't see it, but it does have a light blue hint. I don't know if I put this next to it. See, you can kind of see how it has like that bluish hint to it now. So that's what we're going to add. Oops, I meant to cut this down to 4 inches because we're going to add this across here. So I had it cut at 6 like it comes. So I just have a 1/2 inch strip by 4, and we're going to add that here. And then we're going to stick this on right across that seam. It's just a really pretty paper. Okay, so there we have that. Isn't it so pretty? Okay, so then we're going to stamp. And I need a white piece of my paper, which is right here. And again, I just have like scrap paper. So this one, I'm going back to that outline, the little outline one. And so again, I have my little mat under here. And then I'm putting my thing. I put this because I'm going to stamp off of it. I think, yeah, I am. So I'm going to ink this up in Memento Black. And we're going to do kind of how we did on the last one. We're going to stamp one flower up here. I'm going to make sure I stamp it really good. I should have grabbed my stamper since I'm having... See, it's because of my stupid arm. I didn't have this problem earlier. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to stand up and stamp it. I made all these samples and not one of them had difficulties until now I go live, which is like not surprising. Okay, I'm going to stand up so I can maybe do this a little better. Don't ever get a frozen shoulder. It pretty much sucks. Okay, I'm standing up. And now I'm being overly with it because I want it to work. Okay, we're going to stamp another one down here. And I'm going to go right down here. And I'm going to, I don't think I inked it up all the way. So let's just make sure. And then stamp this one down here. Okay, there we go. So again, I have my little mat under there, so I just had to stand up because I'm so weak lately. Okay, so next up we are going to take our pool party blend and we're just going to color this in. So again, I'm showing you different ways you can use the stamp set. You can color it, you can watercolor it, you can emboss it, you can just stamp it. And I'm not being like too perfect with this one either, but I'm doing the edges and then, or the edges of the petals, and then I will just go in and fill it in. So it was really hard to decide what colors to use today. Then the next one is like a super fall like colored card with this set. Okay, so there's one flower. Flip it over. Thank you so much for sharing, Carol. I really appreciate that. All my videos are also over on YouTube. So if you are new, I thought I saw somebody pop on like first time watching. And if you ever want to see what I've done in the past, you can catch everything over on that YouTube channel. It's Owl Star Stampers. So here's this. And I hope you guys are getting your orders too. I just got my first order from when the catalog went live today. So that was really exciting. I didn't order till later in the day though for my personal order. So, okay, so now I can just color this in. And again, you can like use your light and your dark and really make this like so, you know, detailed if you want with your colors. But thank you, Kathy. She said beautiful cards. Okay, so there is that. And again, I'm not going to go over it. You could, again, go in with your light and your dark and add shading and all that beautiful stuff. So go ahead and do that at home if you would like to. And then we're going to layer these together. See, that is my mistake on the back. Nobody will ever know now that I didn't press hard enough there. Except for all of you that watched, but don't tell. Okay, and then we're going to flip this over and we're going to add our dimensionals. Now this one I'm going to do a little bit differently with our little circle. So peel these off and then I'm going to take our card base. And so again, I wish you could see the blue. It does have a hint of blue. It's pretty cool. We're going to add this here. And then on this one, look at, I already stamped it, the Oh So Happy For You. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of here. Again, this is about a 1.5 inch circle. And I'm going to pop this up over here on the side. And then we're going to take those black dots and I'm going to add a few. I'm going to close this ink pad before we have a catastrophe. A few black dots on here. So if you're just joining, I will show you all 4 cards in just a minute. We're gonna make one more though. It's pretty fast, I think, too. And then we'll put one down here, and then we'll put another. And they have these dots. They're like 2 different sizes, like a bigger and a smaller. I just seem to only have the smaller ones. So there is our card. And here is the other one. This one, my blend was literally running out of ink, and I actually threw it away, and I grabbed a new set. So there's our card, and just another fun way to use that glimmer paper. You can color it with your blends also. Okay, so our last card with this paper, again, we're using the Beautifully Pen paper and the Delicate Dahlias stamp set, is we're going to make a fall card. And I have Early Espresso, and then I have this piece that I embossed with the Timber 3D embossing folder. This is a really cool embossing folder, and this is Cajun Craze. And then I have, oh, that's a piece of trash, a piece of this Early Espresso and Berry Vanilla. And so I have that, and then I have a piece of this paper right here. So what we're going to do with this paper is we're actually going to bring in a blending brush. So these come 3 in a pack for $12. Bring in some Cajun Craze ink. I need this to be 5.5 inches long. So for some reason, I didn't trim down any of my pieces of paper today. So 5.5. Cut off the end there. And then I'm going to show you how you can change the color of this, because it's just white, and then we're going to make it more black, or not black, more fall. So I take your blending brush and just kind of go in the circular motions over here, and then you're just going to go right on your paper and just swirl your color on. And then you can just make it as dark or as light as you want. Now, really, they're not going to see the middle part, so I'm going to kind of leave that. But I'm going to do this side over here. and turn this to match my paper. Since that will drive me crazy, I'm going to blend it in, but I'm not going to work it. But you could make this a really light Cajun craze, like in the middle, or I added a lot more ink to make it a lot darker. So that's just with a blending brush. And now we're done with that. So I'm going to take our cardstock here, and we're going to fold it in half. And this was just a scrap I had already cut this way, so that's why it's going the 11" by 4 1/4. And it's actually going to go this way though. And then we are going to, great, I got a stamp again. I'm going to grab this mat in here, and then I'm taking the outlined image in Cajun Craze ink. I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp this off to the side over here. I'm going to stand up because I'm weak. Yes, it's like an ombre effect. Yes, thank you. There we go. Okay, so that's this is Very Vanilla with Cajun Craze. And then I'm going to clean this off. All right. Then what I did is I didn't even finish this card because this is when my neighbor came over. And I didn't want to miss her though. She had green beans and like those sugar snap peas. So that was so nice of them to bring those over to us. So I just have aqua water painter, and it has water in it, but I'm not squeezing water. The tip is wet. So I'm just lightly going over, and the color is bleeding. So if you add too much water, it will wreck your paper. So you just have to be very, just not add a ton of water. You could also use a blender pen, but again, just don't go over it like a ton. Just lightly pull that color from the stamped flower. Again, this is just a different technique to do if you want more of a subtle look. And so there we go. Our flower is kind of colored in with that. And then we're going to set this aside. I'm going to set this aside to dry for a second. And then I need a strip of Very Vanilla for our sentiment. So I just have a piece here, and I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch strip, hopefully. So I want this one right here. So 1/2 inch. So cut this. All right. Is any of you back to school or have kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews back to school? My kids start on Monday, and they actually haven't been back since COVID started. So they are excited to go back. And we did all the back to school like check-ins this week, and they're good to go, I think. Okay, I'm looking for my stamp set, which is right here under my scissors. And I'm going to use that one that says You Inspire Me again. So I'm going to take off this stamp, and we're going to just stamp that in the Cajun Craze ink right there. Just like that. And then we're going to trim that off and make it a banner. So I hope everyone has a good school year this year. So, okay, let's assemble our card now. So we're pulling in these pieces, this piece, our embossed piece, and this. So first it's going to go down is our 3D timber, which is super cool folder. And we're going to add that down here. Now this piece I think we'll need the Very Vanilla on the inside because this is such a dark color. Then we're going to take our designer series paper that we sponged with our our blending brush. And I did 5 1/2, and I need it to be 5 1/4. So I'm also not sleeping very good at night because I can't get comfortable because of the pain in on my shoulders and my back. So that's why I'm like a little, I can't seem to do anything right anyway. I feel like I'm going crazy some days. There's just a lot going on. So we're going to add this here, and then you'll see how this paper is just going to peek out and just give it a little bit of texture to your card. So there's that. Now again, this is going to be covered. Okay, so we're going to take this piece here in our early espresso here. And see, I think I trimmed these down a little bit on my other card. I did 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, or yeah, and then 4 by 3 for the other layer, but that's okay. This one will be a little bit bigger. So we got this, and then we're gonna layer this on here with these. So I can't wait to bring all the cards in just a minute and show you all of them together, because they will be, yeah, thank you, Pam. Pam said, have you tried some Icy Hot? Yes, I'm pretty much slathered in Icy Hot and some pain medication and physical therapy 3 times a week. I'm doing all the things. I got a cortisone shot. I don't think that helped at all, unfortunately. So I'm just doing everything they tell me to do. And there's that. I have the Icy Hot patches, so I put those on so they last for a few hours anyway, or they're supposed to. And then I've been doing rice packs in the freezer. That's my new thing I'm doing. So, oh no, Alice said her sleep apnea machine died and she feels like a zombie. It's the worst when you're not getting good sleep. So we have this You Inspire Me. I just cut it off at an angle. This is just a 1/2 inch strip. And we're going to just pop this on here, just like this. And then I think these black ones we could use, or just one second. I know we've used those on everything so far, but I'm looking, I think I would want, I want the champagne ones, the champagne rhinestones. And I thought I had some right here, but maybe not. Look, I have all these gems, but not the ones I want. Isn't that how it is? But guess what? I know right where some are. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to go run and grab the ones that I think will look the best. Okay, I got some champagne ones. They're almost gone, but you can tell I like my little sparkle stuff. I just think these will be pretty. They have like a orangey hint, or they can. So we will just, I'm going to add several of these on here. Like maybe I will add 5 to this card. I'm going to put one there, and then another one up here. Okay, so there is our fall card. Now again, you're going to want to add a piece of Very Vanilla on the inside, but I don't know if you can see. So I just used that water painter and just lightly pulled the color from that stamped image. And then this paper just adds a little something right there. And then I know you can't tell, but this is the timber in the background there. So there's a fall card using that stamp set. So let me show you. Let me show you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm trying to get better. Okay, there's our card. Look, here's the other one I didn't even get finished from earlier. So there's our last card we did, and then we did this really pretty one with a pool party. Again, all using the same designer series paper and the same stamp set, just all different like ways to use it. And then we did the Bumblebee card right here. And then we have our first card that we heat embossed with the black powder, and then we watercolored with the shimmer, with the polished pink ink pad. So there we have that. So those are our 4 cards for tonight. Again, they're all really easy. All of them use a little bit of different techniques. So I hope that was fun for you. And maybe if you haven't tried any of these yet, you will be inspired to do so. Or if you have and you just haven't done it in a long time, then maybe that will inspire you to pull out your heat tool and your embossing powder or your water painters. Again, all these main things are in our annual catalog, and you can add them to your order. And then if you get up to $50, you can get this beautiful pack of paper here for free. Or if you get up to $100, you can even get the stamp set for free as well. So it's a really fun stamp set. And then we also, this bedazzled paper is in there as well. Again, if you want to do any shopping, here is the host code for you. And I appreciate all your comments, all your shares, all your likes. If you're watching on YouTube, give me a thumbs up over there if you would, and tell me what your favorite card is over there as well. I appreciate it, and have a great night, everyone. Thanks for coming in on Thursday instead of Wednesday, and for understanding yesterday was just, it was too crazy to make yesterday happen. So I'm glad we could meet on Thursday today. Have a great night, and I will see you, if not before, I will see you next Wednesday for another Facebook Live. Bye, everyone.